I have run businesses in 2 other parts of the country, and perhaps tactfully I should not tell you which other parts of the country they were, but the difference between running a business in those areas and here is chalk and cheese. There is really no comparison. The attitude of the people and the pleasantness of being here and the positive approach is something which I've not encountered before. As I say, in these other businesses which I've run in my sort of 15 years of business experience.
Hello, I'm Emma. Welcome to Hungerford. We think it's great, and we're hoping to convince you that it's a great place to locate your company. Come and take a closer look.
Did you know that more and more businesses are moving to Hungerford? Why Hungerford? What are the advantages of being located in a small town? Is there room for expansion? And most of all, can a business succeed and be profitable?
To answer some of these questions, we visited 7 very different companies, some well established, others new to the area. Here's what they said.
Well, our European sales office and headquarters is in Newbury, and we wanted to be fairly near to Newbury without actually being in the town. We also need to be very close to Heathrow because 2/3 of our business is in continental Europe, and we use air freight to deliver our goods.
Digital Research is an international computer software company which has been in Hungerford for just over a year.
Go to italic.
Was the availability of premises a strong factor in the decision to set up in Hungerford?
It was a very strong factor. We were looking for a fairly small unit to start up on a tight cost basis, and Hungerford offered small units with very flexible lease terms.
I see. How do property rates and rents compare with those in larger towns?
Obviously, when we chose Hungerford, we were looking at this very closely, and certainly Hungerford, located between Swindon and Newbury, is a relatively low-cost area by comparison.
Anthea Cox at Hungerford Framers also agreed that property rates compared favourably with surrounding towns.
Oh, very favourably, especially in this development here. They are approximately 2/3 of the price of other small industrial units in the area and about half the price of Swindon or Reading or Newbury industrial units. Also, you have the bonus of working actually in the middle of the country with the River Kennet running past your doorstep, as it were.
Hungerford Framers is a very successful small business which has been in the area for 5.5 years.
Basically, we offer a complete picture framing service to the public in Hungerford and the area. We not only frame quite valuable things, we frame anything down to the smallest postcard or greetings card that somebody wants to keep for sentimental purposes. We don't actually advertise a great deal. People just tell their friends and their family, and more people arrive every week to see us. We're also getting a lot of work from people in London, because we are far more reasonable. Obviously, our rates, our rent, all our overheads here are far less than going to a picture framer in Bond Street or anywhere in the West End. And I hope that we can offer just as good a service.
Having originally started the business in Hungerford High Street, Hungerford Framers has now expanded to new premises in a converted stable block just outside the town.
Do you think there are advantages being located in these surroundings?
Oh, definitely, yes. We certainly had some misgivings when we first moved here. Everybody in Hungerford was so used to just walking off the high street into our premises. Despite the fact we're only 1.5 miles from the centre of the town, people were very, very gloomy about it, to put it mildly. And there were a lot of going on. But I think basically, once they found us, which was difficult because we are down 2 or 3 very small lanes, which are badly signposted. Once they'd found us, they were only too happy to come, because it's got to be one of those beautiful parts of Western Berkshire.
Hungerford is a town steeped in character and tradition. It's a well-known antique centre and a popular tourist spot. Among the retail businesses in the high street is Below Stairs, another successful company which has found Hungerford a good place in which to expand.
I've expanded really from one-man band working for myself to now employing 6 people, and probably by the end of the year employing another 3 or 4. So it's been of benefit to me from the point that within the one town I've built up from one person to more workshops, more show space, more showrooms. I specialise in certain fields, kitchen antiques, bedroom furnishings, architectural bits and pieces in the yard. I try not to cross with other dealers in town, really stick just to my own fields.
And do you have a wide variety of customers?
Yes, from all parts of the country really, and throughout the world. Quite a lot of people make Hungerford a call on their route down to Bath, from London, from Heathrow, going down the M4, and certainly if they're interested in antiques or the sort of goods I have to offer, then they will make Hungerford a call, being as there's so many shops.
So how vital are the communications to other industries?
Hungerford is probably better placed than most parts of the country today, because in fact we're just 5 minutes off the main east-west M4 motorway. We're also within a short distance of Southampton, good access to Midlands and obviously the north of the country.
Lowheat is a well-established manufacturing company producing, among its products, highly specialised water heaters for the dairy farming industry.
Another major part of our programme is low voltage heating in all shapes and forms. In that application we supply the majority of the UK market. For the same application we manufacture the transformers. I mentioned it was all based on low voltage. More recently we've developed the production of transformers and now sell an extensive range of transformers for safety purposes and for all sorts of typical uses.
But what are the advantages of being located in a town the size of Hungerford?
In Hungerford at the moment it's very simple. If you've got a problem, the workforce is relatively small in each unit, and therefore if your own workforce can't solve it, probably somebody else in the town can, and somebody knows somebody else in the town who can come and quickly deal with the problem. The manager of the unit can quickly get to see his bank manager, his accountant, his solicitor, any other professional person that he requires, and that's important to a small business.
Ellens moved his firm of solicitors to a freehold property in Hungerford quite recently. Why did he choose Hungerford?
The type of works that we do involve commercial work. That's for companies, obviously, and we also do domestic work. My own particular leaning is towards the commercial side, and that's one of the reasons we came to Hungerford, because I thought that it was a place in which there was room for another commercial lawyer, as this is an area in which commerce is growing, both immediately in the vicinity and the whole West Berkshire area.
It's just a fraction of where you can see it just there, look, coming out the edge.
Martin Simons runs Ventrum Design Centre, a commercial creative studio located just off the High Street. He also finds Hungerford's position ideal for servicing companies, both locally and down the M4 corridor. But what about the services his company needs?
The backup services we require are all available in the locality. Our most important ones are typesetting and printing. They are both available varying standards in Swindon, Reading, Newbury, Everything we require to run the business efficiently is here.
Come on, Hungerford! Yes! Up, Hungerford! Up! Up!
You've got the support of small local industries such as printers, stationery suppliers and all the little sort of businesses which are needed to support a company of this sort. And you've got the larger structures of Swindon and Newbury nearby for the more fundamental kind of support, computer companies and this sort of thing. And it's always been a surprise to me that more companies don't actually come here or haven't been here already. Certainly from a financial point of view, it's a great advantage being it's a very cheap place to locate.
Rory McGrath runs Saxon Industries, a newly formed company which owns a freehold site on the banks of the Kennet and Avon. His company manufactures a range of products for the horticultural industry and distributes horticultural mowing equipment and automotive chemicals throughout the UK.
From a company point of view, we're very fortunate because we aren't particularly reliant upon any local raw materials or anything of this sort. So from a manufacturing and distribution point of view, we could almost distribute from anywhere in the country. But we are particularly fond of being in this place. And in fact, the reason that the company was originally located here was because of its easy access to the motorway system, which means that in a very short time, our products, which we distribute to the whole of the UK, can be on the motorway and away to whichever destination they're going to in the United Kingdom.
Have you found any difficulty in recruiting suitable staff?
No, again, we're very fortunate here. We've only employ about 16 people, so we're very compact, a very small business. And the sort of people that we want, we find very easy to get in this area. And indeed, we're very lucky because we've got a very pleasant, a very loyal, and a very nice workforce here. And I think everybody enjoys working here. I don't think there's anyone that doesn't. And the sort of people that are around here we find are ideal for our kind of business.
So those are the primary considerations of our 7 companies locating in Hungerford. Availability of premises, both leasehold and freehold, room for expansion, low rents and overheads, good communications and services, good local staff and markets for their products. But what of the future?
Are you hoping to expand further?
Whether it'll be this year or next year, we're not precisely sure. It depends upon our business and our trade and what opportunities arise. But it's certainly our intention. And if we do expand, it'll certainly be in Hungerford.
Well, we've managed to achieve profitable operation very quickly within 2 months of start-up here. We've been growing fairly continuously since then, and we would expect to be doubling in size within the next year.
How do you see the future of your business in Hungerford?
I'm very happy to say continuing to grow. A solicitor, I think, normally expects a practice to take at least 3 years to expand into its potential full size, and probably up to 5. I would see us well expanded within 3 years, and that's unusual.
So if you are a small to medium-sized business looking for somewhere to locate, why not check out Hungerford?
Are you pleased with the results of your location in Hungerford?
Very pleased, yes.
Yes, delighted.
Oh, thrilled to bits, yes.
Now, I would argue very strongly for a location in a place like this where overheads are low, staff is plentiful and loyal and very willing to see companies succeed. I would think that anyone that's thinking of moving or looking to this sort of area should give this location a very strong second look.